overall, Mitsubishi totally dominant, with 3 Pajeros in the top 3.
In this episode of Cars from Japan, presented by Cars from Japan, we take a look at the Mitsubishi Pajero Evolution. I don't know why, but everybody seems to love the word homologation. What does it mean? Well, basically when a manufacturer wants to race their car in a category, usually when it's a production car category, they essentially need to homologate the car to meet those rules. Basically, they don't want manufacturers building one-off race specials. They want to basically say you need to make a certain amount of cars before we'll let you take that car racing. There's been plenty of them over time, everything from the R32, Skyline, GTR, Nismo, certain types of Evolution Lancers such as a Tommy Mäkinen, and obviously this car, the Mitsubishi Pajero Evolution. Why did it need to get homologated? Well, they wanted to go racing and win the Dakar Rally. Now, I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert on this car, so we're going to go take a look at the basics and then take it for a drive, because honestly, I've never driven one. So at first glance, it is a 2-door Pajero, but what you don't realise, it's a stiffer body shell, and underneath there's double wishbone suspension in the front and its own unique multi-link suspension up the back as well. When you look at the outside, as you can see, it's a hell of a lot crazier than the others. Obviously, it has its own bespoke front bumper, wide fenders, bonnet vent, the spoiler on the back, the side steps, and obviously its own unique racing wheels as well. This one's fitted with snow tyres, so I think it could be pretty fun to drive in the right environment. Now, it's not a Magna V6 under the hood of this thing. It is the Myvec 3.5 litre double overhead cam V6, 280 horsepower and revs to over 7,000 RPM. I know most of you probably wish it had a 4G63, but for the Dakar Rally, for a whole lot of days of racing, this is a pretty good choice. This has the automatic transmission, and obviously it has four-wheel drive that you can set as well. But if you look around, you can also see there's a nice big oil cooler in the front as well, which is good for racing. So let's take a look inside now and see what's different in there. So inside the car is, well, fairly Mitsubishi, kind of like with an Evo, where it's just got a dash of what you need for racing. So we've got Recaro seats. You can see down here, you've got your 4 low, your 4 high, and then obviously you got your 2-wheel drive selector here, automatic gearbox in this one, bit of carbon fiber replica sprinkled around. I wish it was real carbon fiber, but it doesn't matter. You've got in here your indicator for what your 4-wheel drive's doing, your attitude indicator obviously for a 4-wheel drive, and then you've got oil pressure and battery and stuff like that. So there's a couple little extra gauges in here and the Recaro seats to spruce things up, but outside of that it's fairly Mitsubishi. All I want to know is though, is it fun to drive? A 2-door Pajero with a V6 and 280 horsepower? Let's hope so. Let's find out. So I didn't really know what to expect driving the Pajero Evolution. If you think of it as a 90s 4-wheel drive with a V6 in it, yeah, expectations wouldn't be that high, right? But it does exceed realistic expectations. And what I mean by that is if you look at this as a crazy homologation rally special, you might be disappointed. But if you look at it and go, well, at the end of the day, it's still a mid-90s Mitsubishi 4-wheel drive with a V6 in it, well, it's better than that, that's for sure. You've got to remember, you know, the Dakar is not all about having some screaming 400 horsepower turbo engine in it. They've got to survive a very grueling competition, which this thing would do. Stiffened body shell, different suspension in the back, double wishbone in the front, and all the fruit. And driving this fast, look, exciting's probably not the word. I guess fun, because I'm smiling because I'm driving this Dakar Rally homologated special, and it was pretty loose at times, a bit of lift off oversteer and a little bit sideways here and there. Nothing crazy, obviously, but you know, it was fun. It was fun from the perspective of enjoying the nostalgia of it and enjoying the car for what it is. If I owned one of these, it would definitely be more of a showpiece, something you take to car events, show it off, a talking point, something unique, something a collector's car. But it's still fun enough that if you had to take a detour through Old Pack or Nasho or your favourite bit of road, you can still have a bit of fun with it. It wouldn't be your first pick to go carve up a mountain, obviously, but it's still pretty fun. So I guess overall, the car's nostalgia and heritage and collectability is probably what I guess makes it more enjoyable to drive. People are looking at it, what is it, this, that, rather than the actual driving experience itself, right? So some cars are all about the driving experience, while some of them are more about, I guess, the feel, the vibe, and all that stuff. And this car has plenty of that. So overall, like, it's cool, right? It's got cool factor. It ain't the sharpest tool in the shed, and it's not meant to be. It's a four-wheel drive they used to do Dakar Rally. It's meant to be brutal and tough and survive all that. But overall, definitely was better than you'd anticipate for a mid-90s four-wheel drive with a V6 in it, but at the same time, it's still a mid-90s four-wheel drive with a V6 in it. But overall, the cool factor is through the roof, and I'm glad that I got to drive one of these like this because, let's face it, not a lot of people would let you do this. So thanks, Joe. Cars from Japan.